Welcome to Power Up Notes for May 2026. In this episode, I cover new native game releases for Linux, massive ecosystem overhauls for desktop apps, the mainstream shift to Linux kernel 7.0, and a very important personal editorial about the future of this channel's hardware. I'd also like to apologize in advance if you hear anything that's not my voice or the music in today's episode. The water company here in Edmonton decided to upgrade the main water main, which is in the back alley behind the place where I'm currently living this year, so you may hear a bit of the construction noise as I record today. So I'd like to apologize for that in advance, but I really want to get this episode done. But anyways, stick around, folks. There's a lot to cover today. Welcome to Game Notes. First off, Alabaster Dawn, launching straight to early access on May 7th. This massive new 2.5D action RPG comes from Radical Fish Games, the creators of the cult hit Crosscode. It debuted with flawless native Linux support on day one, offering puzzle-heavy, top-down combat and a deep story. Space Haven. After a long journey through development, this deep spaceship colony sim officially hit its full 1.0 release on May 13th. You can build ships tile by tile, manage crew moods, handle gas conditions, and explore the universe. It runs beautifully native and is a must-play for simulation fans. Sounds extra interesting. I might be trying that one. Now, Proton hotfixes and anti-cheat warnings, folks. Valve and the community have been working overtime this month to keep non-native games running smoothly. Notable updates include Forza Horizon 6. Playground Games explicitly stated that the game does not officially support Linux. However, within 24 hours of its May 22nd launch, Valve pushed out a custom Proton hotfix that got the game running flawlessly on desktops and Steam Decks. Way to go to Valve for doing what the AAA studios will not. Arc Raiders. On the flip side, the developers behind Arc Raiders have been testing a new kernel-level anti-cheat solution this month, raising immediate red flags in the Linux community regarding future Proton compatibility. Boo! Seriously, folks. Trying to block out Linux? Not cool. Discord's a massive Linux overhaul, folks. Discord finally stopped treating Linux like an afterthought this month. They officially launched dedicated Fedora.rpm and native Arch packages. There's also they also have dedicated ones for Debian things like Ubuntu, Linux Mint, and anything else that's been developed from Debian, including Debian itself. .deb packages. This is no longer just a repackaged web wrapper. It introduces official hardware accelerated video encoding for AMD, Intel, and NVIDIA GPUs, and hooks directly into GameScope and Vulkan. This directly cuts down on backwards CPU overhead while gaming and streaming. Way to go, Discord! We appreciate the fact that you're trying to support us Linux gamers. Way to go! Way to go! Now time for the Kernel Notes. The biggest news in the Linux world this month is the official mainstream rollout of Linux kernel 7.0 across rolling release distributions. Linux kernel 7.0.3. The May ISO snapshots for Arch Linux and rolling distros like Nitrux 6.1 officially debuted the 7.0 kernel series. This brings a massive boost to hardware detection, optimized power management, and heavy stability fixes for newer GPUs and high-capacity RAM modules. KDE Plasma 6.7 Beta. Dropping on May 14th, this beta introduces a highly anticipated Plasma Big Screen mode, specifically designed for home theater PCs and gaming setups using a controller, directly rivaling Steam's big picture interface. Excellent! Red Hat Enterprise Linux RHEL 10.2. Released this month, RHEL 10.2 made major waves by introducing post-quantum SSH security features out of the box. Now folks, it's time for my editorial. Now this one's gonna be big. As you know, I always want to be completely transparent with you guys about how this channel is run. Today, I need to have a serious conversation about the hardware that actually builds creative engineering, flow and fortune, and everything else we do here. My current PC is pushing a decade old. It is starting to throw frequent, unexplained stability errors, and isn't shutting down properly anymore. The biggest hit to this channel right now is that I can no longer risk leaving the rig running overnight for unattended AFK sessions. For a gaming channel, that is a massive bottleneck. It directly halts my ability to gather materials for our big Minecraft build sessions, meaning content progress is actively being slowed down by dying hardware. This machine refused to boot up one morning. The entire channel grinds to a total halt. To fix this, I've launched a Ko-fi page with a goal of 3,000 Canadian dollars to build a new machine. I want to emphasize that this isn't a random luxury wish list number, because RAM prices are sky high right now. It's driven up the cost of graphics cards and internal components across the board. I want to be as efficient as possible with your support. The plan is to source this from local Edmonton area suppliers, specifically Memory Express, to save time and get back to making content quickly. I'm heavily considering buying a pre-built rig instead of waiting a week or more for a custom build queue. Now, system buyers will insist on shipping it with Microsoft Windows, but I plan on wiping that immediately to install Linux Mint to keep my desktop production stable, though I'm looking at Bazite for a home theater PC setup down the road. I don't need a new monitor, a new sound system, or fancy peripherals. Those are working fine. This money is strictly for the main tower, the internal components, and a solid case. Furthermore, I'm tracking hardware prices constantly. If component prices drop before we hit the milestone, I immediately lower the total goal even further. If you want to help keep the gears turning and chip away at the new rig, consider dropping a one-time tip. There is a progress bar set up on the page. You can see the need to move. Check out the link in the description or search for Circnilla Ice _ King on Ko-fi. Until the next time, may God bless you all, and I'll see you around.